We're going to do a little bit of total body, but we're also going to spend some time focusing on our feet and our ankles, making sure that we have great knee alignment. But let's start by letting go of wherever we were before we rolled out our mats. Find a comfortable seated position. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure you're finding length through every part of the spine, all the way up through the crown of the head, and then let the shoulders hang down. You can always drop the chin slightly if that feels good. Have the hands in a comfortable position, whatever that means for you. And close the eyes for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. With each inhale, you make it a little bit longer. Start filling the lungs a little bit more. Let the belly start to soften and expand. Exhaling fully so that the navel draws towards the spine. Start to relax your face, softening between the eyes, softening the jaw so we bring space between the teeth. The tongue might gently touch the roof of the mouth. As we touch the tongue through the mouth, it connects an energy pathway from the root all the way through the front of the body to the mouth, and then from the roof of the mouth around the top of the head all the way down the back. Allowing this energy to circle through the entire body. We'll take 2 more big breaths. Let everything soften and expand with your last breath. Big inhale. We'll take a moment, keeping those eyes closed. Just gently lift the arms up, gathering energy from the earth. Bring those palms together. Bring the hands down to the heart. Take a moment, set an intention for your practice. Give yourself thanks for carving out this time for your practice today. Take 2 breaths, take a moment for yourself and whatever you need. And then we'll lift the arms back up and let them float down out to the side. We're going to stretch those legs out right away. Take a moment. I want you to think about opening up through the toes here. So stretch the feet, roll the ankles a few times. Find some movement through these joints. Okay, we're going to come down off any block or blanket we might have. We're going to warm up through the hips a little bit, through the feet. Bring your hands behind you. Let your feet be in a comfortable position in front, and we're just going to tilt the knees from side to side. So just find a comfortable position. Allow your hips to lift up a little bit. Turn from side to side. You can make the feet a little bit wider if that feels good. Let's just find a little bit of movement here. Try to have it so that your knees and ankles and your feet are going to stay in alignment. Every time we enter into a movement or a pose, we want to check on our breath, see how we're feeling. Okay, let's come back to center. Might have to scoot yourself back a little bit. Let's take a moment bringing our feet together. Sitting up nice and tall. We have a couple of options here. The most basic version is just relaxing everything on the inhale and then pressing down on our exhale. You're also welcome to take your hands around the outside of your feet here, or you could open up through your feet and ankles a little bit more by bringing the thumbs to the ball of your foot and the rest of the fingers on the outside. Then spread your feet open so that the base of your feet is going to go more towards the sky. You can also lean forward, pressing the elbows into the calves to help open up those hips a little bit more. Remember to breathe. Let those shoulders hang down wherever you are. If you're choosing to fold forward, think about rotating the torso from your hips. One more deep breath. And then release. Inhale up. Bring those feet back together. Stretch out the legs for a moment. Draw those toes back towards you. Maybe you fold forward a little bit. And we're going to come on to our hands and knees. You're welcome to put a blanket underneath your knees. We're going to be here for a moment. We're going to try a bunch of different variations, but first and foremost, we're going to find a little bit of movement through the spine. Spread the palms wide so we open up all the energy pathways. Unlock the elbows and make sure you're pushing out of your shoulders. You can have your toes curled back here, already opening up through the feet, or relax them down to the earth, making sure the knees are under your hips. Starting with some cat and cow stretches, drop the belly, let your hips go up towards the sky, and gently look up if it feels good. Exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, hunching and rounding the back. And then release. Big movements here, looking up and then looking back. Remember, you're always welcome to choose another variation. Maybe that's coming back to the tabletop position and then tilting your hips from side to side or wagging your tail. Completely up to you. Take a couple of more big breaths. Last one. Make a big round of the back or a big tilt of your hips and then release. Opening up through the legs and the feet first, we're going to extend the right leg back. Spread your toes into the earth. Have all of them touching down. Push out of your palms and into that right leg. Straighten through the legs so we get a stretch through the calf. Also, think about opening up all those toes. So just like our palms are spread into the earth, we want to do the same things with our feet. Allow everything to relax and open a little bit more. And then come back. Bring that right knee underneath the hip. Feet are relaxed. And then left leg extends. Press all of your toes into the mat. Look back. Make sure that you have them all touching, pushing into that left heel by pushing out of our palms. Nice straight leg. Couple of breaths here, really trying to open up through the calf and the foot. And then release. Come back. Okay, first we're going to come into child's pose. So extend the arms out. Let your hips go towards your heels and really try to relax your feet so that we're starting to open through the ankles and the top of the feet here. Relax the upper body fully. You could have the arms extended, or you could bring them around the side of your legs so that the palms are facing up by your feet. It's going to be completely up to you. Try to soften through the hips. Try to relax through the upper body. I'm going to take 2 more breaths here, trying to find a little bit more relaxation in every pose. And then if the arms are by the feet, we'll bring them back towards the front. Inhale, coming up. Now this is an opportunity where we could use our blocks. We're going to bring them to our sides here. We have a couple of options first, okay? We want to curl back our toes. Now from here, I want you to lean that weight back into your heels. So we're opening up through the feet. This might be hard to do on both at the same time. So we'll start with the left foot relaxed, curl those right toes into the mat, and then push back. You can always bring the blocks to the side so we don't have all of the weight into that foot, but we want to spread open through the toes. Make sure they're all touching on the mat again. Get a big stretch through the foot and the ankle. We're going to do a couple of different things. So now we're going to move forward and we're going to switch. Draw the left toes into the earth. Relax that right foot down. So the top of the foot is there, and then shift back. Open up through that left foot. It's up to you how much weight you're putting there. Having the blocks there can take some weight off of that foot or help you to lean forward so that the weight is not too intense on your foot. Okay, release. Now, try to do both feet. Try to find it even from side to side and push back. Both toes are curled into the mat. Push that weight back. See if you can sit all the way up. This might be intense. That's why we have the blocks. Remember, props are our friend. Little movements can do a lot to open up our body, and then we're going to release. Release the feet. Have them on the mat. Bring your weight back. Stretch out through the tops of your feet now. So relaxing into it again, the option is there for blocks to help keep your weight. Okay. Now we're going to switch it up again. We're going to move forward. We're going to take a block or blocks or pillows, and we're going to place it underneath right where our butt would sit. And we're going to take our feet a little bit wider, our knees a little bit wider, and we're going to come and we're going to sit on that block. Now, you can always sit on the mat. This is opening up through the tops of the feet in a different way. So the option is there to come and sit on the mat. This is going to be intense through the knees and the thighs as well. That's why I suggest have that block. And then if you want a little bit more, you can walk back a little bit, get a little bit of stretch through the front of your legs here. There's always the option of being on your legs and then coming down to your forearms or all the way down towards the earth. But take one more breath wherever you are. Okay? Now, we're going to come up. We're going to move those blocks. We're going to realign so the knees are under the hips. Feet are relaxed, but now we're going to curl them to stretch them the other way for a moment. Push that weight back one more time. Stretch out through those feet, okay? And now we're going to work those hips the other way. So relax the feet. Come up, bring the hands to the hips and push those hips out. There's always the option to bring your hands to your ankles or take your blocks and open up a little bit more through the front of the hips. But something as simple as just having your hands on your hips is going to help open through the front. It might help with the sciatica by pushing through that lower back. Ready? Release. Let's come into a really relaxed child's pose now. Giving ourselves a break. You can keep your knees in line or bring them wide and then come back and relax down. Take a couple of breaths. Feel the difference in your feet now or your ankles. How does everything feel different after stretching through the feet? One more big breath here. And then we're going to inhale and we're going to come up. And we're going to bring our knees under our hips And we're going to come into a standing pose. If you'd like first, before we get into our mountain pose, spread your palms wide a little bit further ahead. Curl back the toes to come into a plank. And then lift the hips into downward dog. Bend the knees, press the feet, pedal them back and forth one at a time. Try to have those toes spread nice and wide. Make sure you have space between your feet. We want to make sure that we have hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. And then we'll walk our feet forward. All the way towards the palms, bend into the knees and let yourself almost ragdoll down. Just let everything hang and then slowly come up. Take a moment. Relax as you come up. You can stay facing the front of your mat or you turn, completely up to you. Take a moment. I want you to build the connection to your footwork. Let your feet relax into the mat. Have them hips or shoulders width apart. Reach your fingers down to the earth, palms facing forward. Relax your lower back. So we want to drop our tailbone down or tuck our hips slightly. This is going to allow your hips to come into a level position. Soft knees, shoulders down, head lifting up. And if you'd like the challenge, close your eyes for a few breaths. Bring that focus inward. Allow yourself to relax and just build that connection to your feet, the kind of base of our whole alignment of our body. Two more breaths. Settling in from seated to standing. And then we're going to inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge from your hips while bending into the knees. Relax the lower back. Let everything hang down. Think about lifting your hips up towards the sky, getting a little bit more length through the lower back. And then we're going to inhale, flat back, straight legs, hands on the knees or the shins, look out. Exhale, fold forward again. Keep those legs nice and straight. And then inhale, try to hit that flat back. Bring the arms out to the side and then overhead, coming all the way up. And then release. Okay, let's turn towards one side of our mat to come into our warrior stances, working through our hips, our feet, and our knees. Remember, you can always insert a high lunge here, so you could turn to the front of your mat and have that balancing of your feet. I'm still recovering with my left foot, so I'm going to ground for traditional warrior. Traditional warrior, hips are slightly open. Make sure that the length of your stance does not matter. What matters the most is balance and stability. So having that maybe width from side to side, and then knee over ankle. So it should be hard to lift your toes. If you can lift your toes, not enough. If you can lift your heel, you're too far forward. Find center. Find that back knee is in alignment with your foot so that everything is starting to open and soften from the hips. And now turn towards the front from your middle body, not from your hips. Turn from your middle body, lift those arms up overhead or hands to the heart, whatever feels good, and take a few breaths. Try to find that you have very strong legs. You feel flexible from this middle body and then light and airy through the arms. Take a few breaths here. Try to find your strength. Feel the feet soften and spread into the mat. In that back foot, make sure we're using the whole foot, not just the arch or the outside edge. And now we're going to open into warrior two. So we're going to turn our body to the side, let the arms float down or push them out. Let your back foot open a little bit more, not to straight, still a little bit forward. Knee is in line. Find yourself level, and you can always turn the palms to the sky. Check right now. As you open, did your front knee turn in? Do you need to focus on pushing it out so that we're opening up through our hip area? Feel the feet. Lift up tall. Turn and look down that front arm if it feels good. Again, strong and stable through the legs. Light and airy through the arms. Last breath here. And release. Let the arms come down. We're going to turn our feet to the front of our mat. So we're going to have to pick up and we're going to do a wide leg forward fold. So again, becoming aware of our footwork, our hips and our legs. Toes are going to point in towards the center slightly. Make sure you're on one line. Hands on the hips if you'd like, or you can reach those arms up. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, rotate from your hips. Fold forward, and then relax the arms down. Let everything hang. Think about lifting your hips up towards the sky. Let your head drop so that we bring space to the neck. Palms might hit the earth. You could also have the hands wrapped on the elbows. You could grab the hands to the ankles if you wanted. Completely up to you. We have one more breath here. You can slowly come up, or you can do a challenge of bringing your hands to your hips. Try to hit your flat back and then come all the way up. All right, we're going to turn. So this time, turn to the other side. Adjust so that you have that space in your footwork from side to side for your balance. Remember, length of your stance does not matter. Knee over ankle, not too far either direction. Toes are going to point about 45 degrees. Both knees should track over the feet. Hips open slightly. And then where does the turning come from? Your waist area, the spine, turn towards the front. Arms up to the sky or hands to the heart. Let the shoulders relax down wherever you are. Don't bring the arms up with the shoulders up. Relax down. Feel the footwork. Feel the strength in your legs. It's a warrior stance. It's a martial arts stance. We want to find strength and stability. We're opening through the hips. We're building strength. Relax your feet. Let them spread into the mat. 2 more breaths. Try to settle in that little bit more. Drop your tailbone down so we're relaxing the lower back. And now we're going to open up to the side. So arms float down or push out. Open that back foot a little bit. Remember, don't let that front knee come in. Push it out so that it's still tracking over the foot. Okay? Find a level. Palms to the sky if it feels good. Drop your tailbone down. So tuck your tailbone so that your waist is relaxed or your lower back. We have that great alignment through the spine, and then we turn and we look towards that front arm. We try to take a few breaths, finding that lightness through the arms. Feel that strength and stability through the legs. Take 2 more breaths. Try to relax that last little bit. I know we have a big push here. Little strength, a little stretch at the same time. Release. All right, let's turn and do one more wide leg forward fold. So adjust your footwork. Toes point in towards the center a little bit. Hands on the hips or arms come up. Inhale, lift the chest. Nice flat back. Exhale, hinge forward and relax the arms down. Notice the difference from the first one to this one. Feel the difference of your feet as we have them pointed in. Where's the weight on your feet right now? And then take a moment, walk your hands to the left side. You could stack the right hand over the left, or you could grab the ankle and stack then the right hand over the left. Up to you with what feels good, but open up through the side of your ribs and your lower back for another breath. And then walk those palms back to center and across to the right side. So this time, right hand's on the mat, or the left hand comes on top, or you're on the ankle, or maybe the shin, or whatever you can reach. Open up through the left side of your body now. Notice how this changes your balance. Come back to center. Little bit more fold forward. And then coming up, hands on the hips if you'd like, or come up nice and slow. Get that balance. And then release. Draw those feet back to center. We're going to take a moment. Okay, moving nice and slow. We're going to come into a chair pose just to center ourselves and our footwork. So feet are going to be hips distance apart. Look down. Make sure your knees are over your toes. Right now, feel that weight front to back, side to side. Are we centered? Arms come up or hands to the heart. Sink down. As you sink down, drop your tailbone. Don't have that curve. Don't arch your back. Drop down, engage through your abs here. This is what we're going for. All of these poses involve our abs for strength. It's up to you how low you want to go. Imagining that you're sitting in a chair, that could be just a little bit. 2 more breaths. Last push for our legs, our feet, our knees. Building strength at the same time. Ready? Release. Drop the arms and release. Okay. Ready? We need a little calf or quad stretch, right? You can always hold on to a wall. We're going to grab the hand to the right ankle. We're going to work a little bit of a stretch before we come back down to the mats. From here, make sure that the knees are tracking together, drawing your heel to your hip. If you'd like, you can always bring that arm up and then you can hinge forward. It's going to be up to you with how you feel. So take a few breaths, let the shoulders hang down. Try to stretch through the front of the leg before we come down onto our mats. Ready? Release. Let's switch sides. So shifting to the right, find your balance. Pick up the left leg, grabbing the foot, the ankle, the pant leg. Does not matter. Draw those knees together. Little bit of balance with a little bit of stretch. How's your foot? Is it relaxed? Are you locking out that right leg? That's all going to affect your balance. Remember, option for arm up and fold. Release. And then come down. All right. Let's come down onto our mats. If you want to add a downward dog, feel free. Let's just come however you would like. I'm going to just come and lay down on the mat. Take a moment. We did a lot of strengthening right there. We're going to take it nice and easy now. We did our hard work. How are your feet feeling? Take a moment. Lift those hips. Let the lower back come to the mat. Hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. Feet out to the edge of the mat. Knees into the center. Feet together, knees open, legs straight. Does not matter what feels best for you. How are we feeling? Can you relax through the whole body right now? How do your feet feel on the mat? If they're touching the mat, how do they feel right now? You could take a moment with those legs completely extended. Give your feet that moment to rest. We just did a lot of footwork, so you might just want to extend those legs out long. Listen to your body. Find your own variation. This is the best part of practicing in our homes. Take a couple of more breaths. Try to relax the shoulders down into the earth a little bit more. Let your belly fill fully. Let the navel fall towards the spine. We're going to take 2 or 3 more breaths, really trying to relax after all that hard work we put in. We're going to keep it nice and relaxed for the next few minutes. Our first variation will be toes to sky, so we'll bring those feet up towards the earth one at a time if the legs are out long. Then one knee into the chest and the other. Hug them in tight first. Try to release through your lower back. Maybe you circle from side to side. Maybe rock. Up to you. Take a moment. And then release the feet to the earth. Hands come down by your hips, palms press into the mat, shoulders press into the mat, arms are by your side body. Knees to chest again, toes to sky. Let all that blood reverse. We're going to sit here for quite a few breaths. So if you'd like, you're welcome to go next to a wall and put your feet up the wall if that helps. You could also use a strap around your feet, but we want a nice bend through the knees, toes to sky. Let that blood flow reverse. We paid so much attention to the feet. We opened up so much today. See if you can relax it all. Just let those feet hang up towards the sky and everything just come back down to the heart. Two more big breaths. Try to relax so that your lower back is on the mat. Yes, we have to use our abs to keep those legs up to the sky, but we want to relax as much as possible. And we'll release. We're going to bring those feet back down, knees in towards the chest. Let the feet hit the earth. We're going to add in some figure fours. I want to encourage you to keep it as relaxed as possible. Extend that right leg out long to find some length through your hip first. Lift it up and then bring the ankle across to your left knee. You can take the hand on the inside of your right thigh to press that knee towards the front of your mat. You could also bring your hands behind your left knee or take a strap or bring that leg up to the sky. Take a moment, open up through the hips. Allow yourself to relax through the shoulders. Keep them as close to the mat as possible. Remember, this pose is about pushing that right knee towards the front corner of your mat. Even if we had that left leg up and we're bringing that knee towards our chest, we really want to focus on that right knee towards the front corner. Okay, release the left leg down. Let it hit the earth and then extend the right leg out long. Big stretch and then release. Right foot to the mat. Left leg extends out. Lift it up. Ankle to knee. Same options. Taking a strap or your hands behind your right leg. Keep that shin relaxed. You could keep your foot on the ground and press into your left thigh, or have that leg all the way up, right leg to the sky. Completely up to you. Remember, if you're bringing that right knee towards your chest, we still want to press the left knee towards the front corner of our mat. Try to listen to your body. Relax the shoulders. Find that great stretch through the hips. Last breath. Really press those knees and then release. Bend the right leg, bring it down to the earth. Then stretch that left leg out long and let it go down. Take the right leg out to meet it. Lift the arms overhead if it feels good. Find a big stretch through your whole body. Lengthen through the front and then release. Lift one leg and then the other. We're going to let those knees hang open for a moment. Bring the base of the feet together, nice and relaxed. Noticing the change in our hips from when we first did this in a seated variation. Just take a couple of breaths. If there is something you feel that was missed, also feel free to add it. Remember, the best part of practicing in our homes is the ability to do what feels best. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Last big breath. And then we'll bring the hands to the outsides of the legs. Knees come up or coming out of whatever pose you chose. And we're going to stretch those legs out long. Bring each foot to the corner of your mat. Think about softening through the pelvis so that those hips hang open. Then the knees rotate and the feet dangle to the side. You could have your hands on your belly, or one on the heart, one on the belly, or palms to the sky with lots of space between the arms and your side body. We want to take a moment, find some great alignment. Make sure we have a perfectly straight spine. And we allow ourselves to rest fully. A lot of strength and a lot of stretch today. We want to give our bodies a moment to relax. What other time do you have in your day where your spine is perfectly straight, everything is so relaxed, and you can just enjoy the moment? Remember, you carved this time out for your practice. Take the time to sit in stillness, even if it's hard. The more we do it, the easier it will get. Let your thoughts pass by. Try to enjoy the space between them, choosing not to dwell on them, but just to let go. Maybe instead you draw your focus to your breath and you notice how your belly just has a natural rise and fall. Maybe you check in and you relax your forehead and your jaw. You let the shoulders hang close to the mat. You let the limbs start to feel heavy into the earth. Maybe that's even causing the knees and the feet to open a little bit more as you soften through the hips. You can always take time to envision your favorite place. We really want to try to enjoy the stillness in our practice. especially after we spent so much time working with our feet and ankles today. We want to give ourselves a moment to rest before we come back into our standing for the day. Take just a few more breaths. Try to enjoy this moment. Maybe you notice how your breath has returned to its natural rhythm. And take this time to start to feel the energy in your body. Maybe you expand your breath just a little bit, draw that energy in for just a moment. Start by wiggling your toes today. Bring that attention to your feet. Roll the ankles first. Notice how that brings movement through the legs. Now work with the fingers. And roll the wrists. Lift one leg and then the other so that they can come to center. Bring both arms overhead for a big stretch. And then release. Lift one leg and then the other so that the feet hit the floor first. Lift the hips to one side and then roll to the other. We're going to pause for a breath or two, and we're going to slowly make our way back up into the same seated position we started in. It's a key part of our practice. We start seated and we end seated so that we can take note of how we feel. What's changed? Is it easier to sit up nice and tall? Do your feet feel different? Your ankles? Do our legs feel a little worked from our practice? Do we just have a higher vibration connecting to Earth's energy? Did you meet your intention for your practice, or did you find a new one? And if there's something else you need to carry you through your day or your week, or whenever I'll see you next, take a big inhale and gather that energy in from the earth, bringing it through the palms, and then letting it settle down as you bring the hands into the heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.